Welcome back, guys. So, for those of you who followed me a little bit, you will know I didn't really like the Wii. I hated this thing. But recently, I got one again for a pretty particular reason. So, I remember it had to have been, oh man, a good 9 years ago. There was a game that came out, not on the Wii, not yet, we're not to that point yet, but in arcades in Japan. Never came out in the US, but there's always arcades that have Japanese games in them. Even to this day, we have Round One over in Moreno Valley, California, and they have a nice selection of Japanese arcade games. A lot of new stuff too, but way back then, a good 9 or 10 years ago, really the only place you could find stuff other than specialty arcades was at GameWorks. GameWorks sucks, man. They don't take care of nothing there. They don't have anybody who actually cares about arcade. It's just teenagers who just, making minimum wage to, scrape by or do whatever, have a little party money. They didn't take care of their games, but we still check that place out every once in a while. So there was one particular game that we were super excited to find out GameWorks had. That was a Japanese import. It wasn't located anywhere else. And that, my boys, would be Tatsunoko versus Capcom. It's called Cross Generation of Heroes, was the original title in Japan. And they had it at our local GameWorks in the mall. If I remember correctly, it was a 2-player Astro City cab, little sit down, and it was fun. We were simply amazed. I remember reading about this and just being like, oh my God, I want to play this game. So a couple of guys from work, a couple buddies of mine at the time, Dominic, Gilbert, kind of funny story, but Dominic, if you're watching this, you still owe me 20 bucks, dude. Come on, bro. So that. But we would peep this game out and go play it. And I remember funny quick story, we all worked at the same place, got off work, let's go to GameWorks, go play Tatsunoko. And myself and Dominic, like, hell yeah, let's go home, clean up, get ready to go, have a few beers, drinks, whatever, and go, kick some ass Tatsunoko, right? This dude, Gilbert, he wanted to join in. Cool dude. He's probably 10, 15 years older than me. He's, cool dude, loved games. But you know what? Screw you, Gilbert, if you're watching this, for ruining, spoiling God of War 3 for me back in the day. I know you're not watching this, but still, come on, man. Messed up, bro. So we all, huddle up, get together. We go pick up Gilbert. This freaking mofo's still wearing his sweaty ass sweatpants and wife beater, whatever you want to call it, tank top. That might not be politically correct. Oh my God. But just nasty. It's like, dude, what the hell? All right, well, we weren't all going out looking for women or nothing, so it's just a gaming session. Let's do this. Head out there, go play. We get there, getting ready to play, get a couple beers. Like, Gilbert, you gonna drink? Nah, I didn't bring no money. I don't have any money. Now, what the fuck you come with us for, right? It is what it is. But back to the actual story. We were getting down in this. We were going there all the time playing the game. Such an amazing game. I loved it. Even to this day, it just stuck in my head how great of a game this was. It was a crossover fighting game. Properties, characters from Tatsunoko Productions, which not as familiar in the US as it would be in Japan, but there are a lot of people who know these characters. Then obviously Capcom characters, Street Fighter and stuff from their other properties. And it was an amazing time. We stopped going after a while because somebody had destroyed the stick and buttons on one of the players' side. I don't remember which one, but the employees never cared. They never fixed it, so we just stopped going. So then what happened? Maybe about a year later, boom, released on the Nintendo Wii, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. They renamed the game Ultimate All-Stars. That was due to a licensing thing. They went through all this licensing to be able to put this out in America. So that, was just a miracle in and of itself with all these Tatsunoko characters that were, had different licensing deals and whatnot. So boom, this came out, I believe, I want to say 2010 in the US. They added a bunch of new characters, all sorts of stuff. Pretty amazing. And then, boom, they also released, Mad Catz did anyway. We kind of miss you, Mad Catz. We we kind of miss you. I mean, they started doing some decent stuff with these arcade sticks, but yeah, Mad Catz released this along with the game. Pretty awesome stuff. We'll take a close look at this. I actually got this nice little setup. I had 2 of these sticks back in the day, and I remember these sticks, I believe, were about 80 bucks. And you know, most of us who were into the game, we changed out the parts and whatnot. But just the stock feel of it was pretty good, not bad. But I just recently got this pickup for about $100. Game and a brand new stick. The stick has never been used, so pretty fresh. Thought that was awesome. One of my favorite games on the Wii, and there's not very many to be honest with you. I flippin' hate the Wii. Hated it from the get-go, even though I bought it day one. We do have a whole big adventure crazy story with that. And we'll talk about it another time with a special guest, most likely. But today, let's take a close-up look at this arcade stick. Look at the awesome manual. They don't come with manuals like this anymore, guys. And then play a couple matches. See what it's all about. See why I love this game. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Okay, guys, so here she is. Get her out of the box. I've already taken it out of the box and kind of peeped it out to make sure everything was good. Love the art on this thing. It's a pretty heavy stick too. This is not a cheap stick by any means. Sure, they could have used better buttons and whatnot, but it's fine. You do have a turbo button, the left stick, directional pad, right stick, toggle switch, your home button. You can lock, I'm assuming you can lock the turbo, is what the lock button is for. I don't recall for sure. Plugs into your Wiimote, boom. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom only used 4 buttons, hence why they color-coded them this way, which is pretty neat because I also do enjoy me some Samurai Showdown, some Neo Geo games on the Wii, and having the button layout like that is pretty sweet. So pretty nice stick. You know what, we can actually find out how much this bad boy weighs. Like I said, it is pretty hefty. Let's get her on there. Let's weigh your fat ass. So that's a 4-pound stick right there. We got a big one right here. So awesome. I'm really happy to have this again. I'm not going to modify it. I'm going to leave it stock and just enjoy it the way it is. Like I said, love the artwork, love the design behind it, and the finish that's on here as well. Feels really good. So taking a look at the actual game, I think the disc is out of here at the moment. We're going to look at the manual actually. And she is a very, very colorful manual. Goes through all the moves, the different control configurations. I would never play like that. It's meant to be played in an arcade stick, or you can use a normal controller, or a GameCube controller works great too. Definitely pretty awesome stuff. So there we go. Let's go ahead and pop this in and play a couple matches so you guys can see what this game is all about. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, so here we go. We've got the stick plugged in. We're gonna play a couple quick matches just so you can see what this game is all about if you've never played it before. But one thing I do want to point out, I didn't show it, is that your start and select are on the back of the machine, or the back of the arcade stick. And the other thing, the lock button, I don't know why I thought it had something to do with the turbo button. Actually what it does is it locks the home button so you can't accidentally hit home while you're playing a game. So that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get in here. The actual stick and controls work in the, in the menu here. So that's pretty good. Oops. Such a great game, really loved it back in the day. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to revisit the Wii. It was just such a blast. It's a simple game, But just like any simple game, you could really get good at it and build up some strategies and whatnot. It's been a long time since I've played this. I've thought about it a lot over the past, years or whatever. And it was like, you know what, it's time. Let me get this back in my possession so I can enjoy this game again. So the way we're outputting this right now is not the best way possible. I do want to peep out that Wii to HDMI adapter, because right now what I am using is the official component cables for the Wii made by Nintendo, and I have them plugged into the OSSC. That's the only way I can record component. So just wanted to point that out. There are some issues with the OSSC with the Wii, that the display is not 100%. You could probably already notice some issues, but even once you're in the game, part of the screen, very small amount, is cut off. Nothing crazy, but we can still kind of, get into the game here and enjoy it a little bit. It's not really killing the experience, but on the side, like where the circle is over there, the blue circle, a little bit of that is cut off. And then a tiny bit from the bottom. So definitely going to look at that HDMI adapter and see how that works. That's something I'm looking forward to, since it's a pretty cheap device. Typically, I remember, I'm going to suck, I can already tell. I don't have this stick on a table or anything. It's sitting in my lap. So that's a little uncomfortable for me, but I don't want it to hit my mic and make all sorts of weird noises. But I remember typically, I would pick Ryu, and then I would either be June the Swan or Yatterman. I think we'll go ahead and go with June the Swan. And it does tell you what franchise they're from when you select them. If you look at their little icons, it shows you what either the game or the series that they're from. So June the Swan versus June the Swan. What the hell? Like I said, pretty simple. And my output, I'm kind of looking at my output and my monitor at the same time, and the output does not match the visuals quite as well. So definitely need to peep that HDMI adapter out, see if that fixes any of these issues with recording. So I wouldn't mind doing some Wii recording in the future. Like I said, I really don't like the Wii, but there are some really great games for it. There's no denying that. You could bash me if you want. Why do you say you hate the Wii? It's just my personal thing, man. It's my least favorite Nintendo system of all time. But that's not to say there's not any awesome games for it. This is one of them. This is only available on the Wii, so it's like, hey, if you're a fan of this, you kind of got to deal with it, right? Alright, that's how you launch. Down, forward, and high attack, or whatever it's called, launches. And I think the B button and back swaps. Okay, yeah. I'll start figuring this game out again. It's been such a long time. I mean, it's a simple game. If you've played any of the other Versus games, you'll have some of the mechanics down, but this is a little unique with certain things. It's very accessible for button mashers as well, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh. I'm not jumping up there in a good amount of time. But I always thought, this game had really awesome visuals that hold up to this day, in my opinion. It looks great, maybe not the best, but still, it's aged well, in my opinion. Come on. Okay, he's out of the... Okay, assist is okay, but I want to swap. There we go. But I don't know about you guys. If you're into fighting games, did you ever play this game? Have you ever even heard of this game? I know plenty of people who have never even heard of this game before. And I bring it up and they're like, no, what are you talking about? It's like, what? You never played this? But, people have played Marvel vs. Capcom, stuff like that. But this one slips people's minds. It wasn't a popular... Tatsunoko is not a hugely popular franchise or, production house. They have plenty of franchises in the U.S., so I guess I can understand that, but there's still, there's going to be some appeal out there. I don't know half of these characters. I mean, I know some of them, You know, from the Tatsunoko side, obviously I know all the Capcom characters, but it doesn't detract from the enjoyment. I still think it's an awesome game, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. A little story time. My favorite Wii game, the one game that I felt was worth picking up a Wii again and getting down into it, even though I'm sucking. Like I said, no excuses, but I do gotta relearn this game. That wasn't what I was trying to do, but alright. Oh, you son of a... Can I combo breaker that shit? That to your face. Oh man, I used to be able to pull off some really crazy combos. It's been too damn long. You know, like Street Fighter, like you never forget, like you can always just pick it up and play like you used to. With a game like this, there's a lot more to it with certain aspects of this combo system. Like I said, it's very friendly to button mashers though. Like you know, if you have a kid, young kid, they could play this and probably whoop your butt if you're not really paying attention. Huh. Boom. Oh, scoop them up. Bam! So there you go, guys. I'm gonna end it there. Let him whoop up on me. That's okay. Pretty fun game in my opinion. I really love it. I'm gonna spend some time with it, try to refresh myself on how to play this game, how the combos work and whatnot. Looking forward to checking out the HDMI adapter for the Wii, see if that can solve some of my display issues and capture issues anyway. I mean, I can plug the component straight into my TV and the visuals are fine. Going to the OSSC, I can't get it straight, so it is what it is. I think it'll be pretty cool to check out that adapter. It's only like a $10, $15 adapter anyway. So appreciate you guys stopping in. Smash that like button. Hey, drop a comment down below. Have you played this game? Do you cherish it as much as I do? I flippin' love this game. Just can't wait to put more time into it. So thank you. Smash it. Do all that stuff. I probably already said that. And I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.